I am joined by the voice of the Toledo Walleye, Matt Melzak. And Matt, this time last week, we weren't sure what the outcome in Game 7 would be. Obviously, Toledo advancing past Cincinnati. Then you look ahead at Wheeling and you go, maybe we should be a little bit concerned about this series. The Walleye dropped the regular season series to the Nailers, but so far Toledo has been the aggressor. They've gone up 2-0. What has impressed you the most about the way that the Walleye have started this series?
I think, Dorian, it has to be just the full domination, the fact that they've scored 10 goals in 2 games. I mean, one of those was an empty netter. We can, put that aside if you want to just say it's 9 in 2 games. But the way they have thoroughly dominated the games for the most part, outside of about the first period of the second game, I think for the most part, Toledo has owned all facets of the game. They've been able to amp it up. They've ratcheted it up. They've added on goals like they do so often. It's just looked like a totally different team. And and granted, some of that is Michael Hauser played terrific in the Cincinnati series and the games that he played. And then on the other side, so far 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 has not matched that kind of level. And Wheeling's going to need a better performance out of him, it looks like, if they're going to hang in this series.
You mentioned Gandon, and Louis-Philippe Gandon was the difference maker for the Nailers against the defending Kelly Cup champions, the Comets. And so far, Toledo really have been able to get after him. 9 goals. They were able to chase him in the second period of the first game. What has allowed Toledo to really capitalize on their goal-scoring opportunities?
I think they've been very aggressive. You used that term earlier. I'm going to steal it from you because they have been very aggressive, going to the net, creating opportunities. And then you look in Game 2, they were able to get their special teams going, working around on the power play. Brandon Hawkins, of course, a dynamite shot for a goal. And they're just getting to the front of the net. They're making those hard plays that you have to make to score goals. They've been at net front, and they've controlled the net front in the defensive zone in front of 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 𝗏𝗏𝗏. He has been, I don't want to say easy, but it's been comfortable for him so far in making saves on the other side, and that's the reason why he's only allowed 3 goals in 2 games.
Well, Toledo has been very adamant about this is the reason why they wanted home ice throughout the postseason, to give themselves that advantage. They go to Wheeling with a 2-0 advantage, but Wheeling is a place that wasn't exactly friendly for the Walleye this year. They went just 1-2. What can Toledo take from those games and apply it to the next 2 or 3 here over the coming days?
I think that when you look back on those 3 games, and they all came late in the season too, Dorian. So you had one in March where they went in the day of the game. It's a tricky travel there. It's 4 hours there. You leave in the morning, you stop for lunch, you go and finish your drive and get there and play the game. Those can be tricky. You got to kind of get used to doing those. And Toledo hadn't done that all season. They lost that first one. The 2 that were back-to-back, Toledo won the first game. They should have won the second game. They were up 2-1. It was a bad play. So if you look at those 2 games, maybe are probably the most indicative of how it's going to go when you get into this series. Toledo played very well in there for 2 nights.
Well, Toledo will look to take a commanding 3-0 series lead when the puck drops on Tuesday. That is at 7:10, and you can watch it right here on BCSN.